I felt a strong pull, a call to help in Africa. I was familiar with the medical facilities in Sierra Leone. I understood the people and their culture. So I bought a ticket in September 2014. About 6 or 8 weeks later, I received in the mail a set of eye instruments and a book, How to do cataract surgery. We practiced on cow and pig eyes provided by the local butcher. Subsequently, we did surgery that was successful for the patients who were willing to trust a general but not an eye surgeon. The floodgates were opened.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Lowell and Ruth Guess Eye Hospital and how that started?
Well, the eye hospital at Kissy in Freetown is a continuation of the eye program that had been carried on for 8 years up country. They made available $75,000 to build the hospital, but that didn't build very much of it. So what I did was I wrote a letter addressed to 8,000 AAO members telling them about the need in Africa and asked if any wanted to contribute one of their incomes from one case, and they did, and the hospital was built.
Now, the Lowell and Ruth Guess Eye Hospital is one of the major centers for eye care and systemic health of Ebola survivors. Did you ever foresee that the Lowell and Ruth Guess Eye Hospital have this impact?
We were only intending to meet the eye care needs until other organizations like the government and others would take over. But there was never that time when we weren't able to make a contribution because we were having board-certified ophthalmologists visiting and covering most of the months of the years with their visits. So they never let Kissy Eye Hospital off the hook. They never let it die.
Can you tell us about the letter you wrote to the World Health Organization and Doctors Without Borders?
February the 11th, I saw 3 doctors that Doctors Without Borders had referred to us at Kissy. All 3 had the same findings, almost complete post-erythrochnia and the chronic erratic precipitates and so on. I simply suggested that it might be the part of wisdom to give some steroid drops to help, and then to include some Midriatic. After that visit, I wrote a letter expressing appreciation for what they were doing and included in the letter a protocol for possible help for those eyes that were involved, and especially for those that did survive, that they'd have a better chance for vision. It was a wake-up call to the world that an epidemic in Africa could become pandemic and disperse disease and death to other continents. And there is a saying, outbreaks are inevitable, pandemics are optional. All countries can be vulnerable to remote places because of airplanes circling the globe today. It prompted governments half a continent away to marshal forces to assist in fighting and containing the deadly viral hemorrhagic disease. Hundreds of organizations and individuals provided medicines and Ebola supplies. Millions of dollars were donated not only by governments and international agencies, but also by individual people. Thousands of volunteers entered the fray with their gifts and skills. All lives mattered. The 500 health workers who died received the best care, but only the best care available in one of the poorest countries of the world. It was not possible to fly all 800 infected healthcare workers, let alone the other 28,000 who contracted Ebola, of which over 11,300 died. Access to treatment was a heart-wrenching, soul-searching, and profoundly troubling question. As I look back on January and February, I realized that I had never lived for 2 months in such a high level of adrenaline. On March 4th, I settled back into the plane seat and wended my way back to my primary home in Alexandria, Minnesota, crossing the ocean for the 186th time. It was a spiritual experience. I have never been more dependent on God's grace or experienced more highly the joy of ministering in the name of my Savior and Lord. Why did I do it? Well, like Paul in 1 Corinthians 9:23, all this I do for the gospel's sake, in order to share in its blessing. We face a humanity too precious to neglect. We know a remedy for the ills of the world too wonderful to withhold. We have a Savior too glorious to hide. My Ebola sojourn was an adventure too thrilling to miss.